face the reality of climate change, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless. The magnitude of the problem can seem insurmountable and it can be difficult to know where to start, but there is a solution that is right in front of us: solar energy. Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the solar energy. As we know, solar energy is a clean, renewable source of power that has the potential to revolutionize our energy system and help us build a more sustainable future. By harnessing the power of the sun, we can signifying reduce our carbon footprints and mitigate the impacts of the climate change. The environmental benefits of the solar energy are undeniable. Unlike fossil fuels, which are responsible for nearly 75% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, solar energy produces no emission or pollution. This means that by transitioning to solar energy, we can significantly reduce our carbon footprints and mitigate the impacts of climate change. But solar energy is not just good for our planet, it can also benefit our communities. Solar projects create local jobs, generate tax revenue, and help to stabilize energy costs. Plus, solar energy can be produced on site, reducing the need for expensive and polluting infrastructure. As we transition to solar energy, we can make a real difference in the fight against climate change. And the best part is it's becoming more and more accessible and affordable every day. Solar technology is advancing at an incredible rate, and it's now possible to install solar panels on homes, businesses, and public buildings. One of the main reasons that solar energy is becoming more affordable is because of government incentives and policies. Many countries have introduced subsidies, tax breaks, and other incentives to encourage the adoption of solar energy. These policies have helped to drive down the cost of the solar energy, making it more accessible to people and communities around the world. In addition to government policies, there are also many private companies and organizations that are working to make solar energy more accessible and affordable. For example, there are now many solar financing programs that allow people to install solar panels on their homes or businesses with little or no upfront cost. These programs make it easier for people to access the benefits of the solar energy even if they don't have a lot of money to invest upfront. Another factor driving the growth of the solar energy is innovation in technology. Solar panels are becoming more efficient and durable, and new technologies are emerging that allow us to store and distribute solar energy more effectively. For example, there are now batteries that can store solar energy during the day and release it at night, allowing people to rely on solar energy even when the sun is not shining. So the growth of solar energy is the testament to the power of the human ingenuity and our ability to solve complex problems. And as more and more people and communities transition to solar energy, we can create the brighter, cleaner, and more sustainable future for ourselves and for future generations. Of course, there are still challenges to overcome. One of the main challenges with solar energy is that it is intermittent, meaning that is only available when the sun is shining. This can make it difficult to rely solely on solar energy for our energy needs. However, new technologies are emerging that are helping to address these challenges. For example, there are now solar farms that use mirror or lenses to focus sun's energy onto a single point, which can then be used to generate electricity even when the sun is not shining directly on the solar panel. Another challenge with solar energy that it can be difficult to install and maintain. Solar panels require a certain amount of space and they need to be installed in a way that maximizes their exposure to the sun. In addition, solar panels can be damaged by hail, wind, or other weather events, and they need to be cleaned regularly to ensure that they are working efficiently. However, there are now many companies and organizations that specialize in the installation and maintenance the solar panels, making it easier for people to transition to solar energy. In conclusion, solar energy is a critical part of the solution to the climate crisis. By harnessing the power of the sun, we can significantly reduce our carbon footprints, mitigate the impacts of the climate change, and build a more sustainable future. The growth of solar energy is a testament to our ability to innovate and solve complex problems, and with continued investment and support, we can accelerate the transition to clean, renewable energy. Let's work together to save the planet with solar energy. So let's discuss about it in the sense of India. India is one of the world's fastest growing economies and is also one of the countries most vulnerable to impacts of the climate change. The adoption of the solar energy can have significant benefits for India, both in the term of reducing greenhouse gas emission and providing access to affordable and reliable energy. First and foremost, the adoption of the solar energy can help India reduce its reliance on the fossil fuel and significantly reduce its carbon footprints. India is currently world's third largest emitter of the greenhouse gases, and the country has set a target to reduce its emission intensity by 33 to 35% by 2030. The widespread adoption of the solar energy can help India achieve this target and reduce its overall greenhouse gas emission. Secondly, the adoption of the solar energy can provide access to affordable and reliable energy for millions of the people in India. Currently, over 240 million people in India lack access to electricity, and many more have unreliable access to electricity. By investing in solar energy, India can provide a reliable source of energy to these communities, which can help to improve their quality of the life and drive economic growth. Furthermore, the adoption of the solar energy can create local jobs and stimulate economic growth. India is already a leader in the production of the solar panel. The adoption of the solar energy can create many new jobs in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance. In addition, solar energy can reduce the country's dependence on expensive imported fuels and help to stabilize energy costs. India has already made significant progress in adoption of the solar energy. The country has set a target to install 175 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030, of which 100 gigawatt is expected to come from solar energy. The country has also introduced a range of policies and incentives to encourage the adoption of solar energy, including subsidies, tax breaks, and net metering. However, there are still many challenges to overcome. One of the main challenges is the cost of the solar energy, which can be high for many people and communities in India. In addition, there are challenges related to integration of the solar energy into the country's existing energy infrastructure, as well as issues related to land use and access. To overcome these challenges, it is important for Indian government to continue to invest in solar energy and provide incentive and policies that make easier and more affordable for people to adopt solar energy. It is also important to continue to innovate and develop new technologies that can help to address the challenges associated with solar energy. In conclusion, the adoption of the solar energy can have significant benefits for India, both in terms of reducing greenhouse gas emission and provide access to affordable and reliable energy. By continuing to invest in solar energy and working to overcome the challenges associated with its adoption, India can build a brighter and more sustainable future for its people and for the planet. Thank you for watching video. Please subscribe Geetanandan Academy.